Holy this is good. Holy So I actually didn't have the specifics, and it didn't book me in. Elon Musk doesn't answer his phone anymore. Not because he's rude, but because 97% of his calls waste his time on stuff he'd never do anyway. So I built an AI Gatekeeper that instantly screens every caller, kills traditional business pitches before they start, and only routes the transformative tech partnerships and mission-critical emergencies that actually matter. No humans involved until Elon picks up. What's up, I'm Aliraj, and today we're building something different. This is an AI agent I designed for Elon Musk using Vapi and N8N. Unlike typical gatekeepers that try to be helpful to everyone, this system has one directive, and that's to default to rejection unless you're bringing something that advances the mission. It doesn't screen for revenue or traction like a typical investor assistant. It screens for technical merit and strategic alignment. Is this about Mars colonization, AI safety, sustainable energy, or free speech? Does it have actual technical proof, not just a pitch deck? Is it something that Elon would engage with on X, or does it legitimately require a phone call? This system understands that Elon operates differently. He doesn't do traditional business meetings. He doesn't take pick-your-brain phone calls. He responds to most things directly on X, so transformative tech, critical company emergencies, or strategic matters that can't be handled publicly make it through. By the end of this tutorial, you will have the complete architecture to deploy this for any founder or executive who needs intelligent call filtering based on mission-critical alignment, not just metrics. And before we get into it, if you're into AI automation that actually solves real problems, hit subscribe. I build systems like this every week that save time and protect attention for high leverage work. Let's go. So first off, you want to open Vapi and create a new assistant. Click Create Assistant, and I'm going to call this Elon Musk Gatekeeper. And your model choice matters here. We're going to go with GPT 4.1 mini, hit publish. And this is the perfect one out of all things I've tested. I've tested all the models for speed and consistency. And speed especially is very important because we need fast response times, because this assistant's super direct, almost blunt, and it's not going to waste any time with pleasantries. Critical setting over here, you want to set this and keep it to assistant speaks first. The AI needs to pick up and immediately demand clarity. And this just means that when someone calls in, AI is not going to wait for them to talk. It's going to talk first, right? So this is what the assistant says when it first picks up the first message. And this is the system prompt. To actually populate this, you can delete this, go to my school community, and it's going to be called Master Prompt Elon Musk Assistant. Copy that and paste that in here. So this prompt architecture is different from typical gatekeepers, and I've programmed it that way because Elon's decision criteria are different, right? Traditional executives are caring about revenue, growth rates, and market opportunity, but Elon cares more about technical feasibility, mission alignment, and whether this advances humanization's trajectory. So I've programmed 5 distinct screening paths here, each one calibrated to his actual priorities, right? And so first is the technology. So when someone calls about a partnership, AI doesn't care about the revenue. It asks about the tech, the technical proof, and how it aligns with his core missions like Mars, safety, sustainable energy, free speech. They don't have a prototype. I've programmed it so the call is going to go nowhere. It's going to end, right? They don't have a prototype, call is going to end. If it's a business pitch designed as a partnership, call is going to end. And if they can't explain their technical merit in 20 seconds, you get what's going to happen, right? So the AI is going to understand that Elon doesn't do traditional business. If you're pitching a SaaS tool or asking for an investment capital, you're in the wrong place. He engages with transformative tech like neural interfaces, rocket propulsion systems, energy storage breakthroughs, or AI alignment research, right? And the screenings can reflect this. Second is the media interrogation. And by the way, if you want to see all of the categories, it's just like this over here, right? We just covered the tech portion, the partnerships. Next is media. So for media interrogation, the journalists do not get automatic access, right? As they should. The AI is going to ask for the outlet name, the audience size, story angle, and most importantly, why does this need a phone call instead of X? Because 95% of media inquiries, Elon's going to handle them directly on X. He's going to tweet responses, clarify misinformation, and he loves to engage with reporters publicly. So we've coded this up to understand that, right? Only major outlets with significant reach and time-sensitive breaking news are going to get scheduled calls, right? So small blogs, fishing expeditions, requests for generic quotes are all going to get rejected with a redirect to X. Third is the company triage, right? When someone from Tesla, SpaceX, Neuralink, XAI, X, or the boring company calls, the AI is going to determine whether this is truly urgent or is it operational, right? It's going to ask which company, what the problem is, what the impact is, and what numbers they have to back it up, right? So if it's a safety issue blocking production, it's going to route it immediately. If it's revenue at risk with hard data, it's going to be scheduled the same day, right? And so the intelligence here is understanding that Elon built these companies to operate without him being the bottleneck. He's going to intervene, but only for the technical breakthroughs and genuine emergencies, right? Everything else stays with the teams. Is the strategic negotiation calls, right? So for partnership negotiations, the AI is going to state technical requirements up front. It's going to push for the concrete specs, the proof of concept, and the mission alignment. And then we have personal connections. So the AI is going to verify relationships without routing anyone through. So if they're not in Elon's contacts, the call ends. This path exists because legitimate personal calls need routing, but the name droppers and the we met once claims are going to get blocked, right? The core difference between what we're building here and executive gatekeepers is this system optimizes for mission advancement, not deal flow. So rejection protects focus on what actually matters. Once this system is configured, it can screen ruthlessly, but without the backend tools, it can't book appointments. And as you can see in our system prompt, we actually configure all the 3 tools that our agents can use right here. So qualify, availability, and book, right? So now let's move forward and let's learn how to wire these up. Now we need to actually populate this first message over here, and we have done it in our prompt. So just copy paste it over this line right here. And this is programmed to be pretty ruthless, so you can adjust this if you want it to be a little nicer. Now let's go over to tools and let's actually build out these 3 tools. So go to create tool, custom tool. Let me actually explain what exactly the tool layer does and how this transforms the screening decisions into actually executable actions. So I've built together, and we're going to go over those 3 functions that I showed earlier that chain together to actually create the complete workflow. And so the entire framework essentially goes like this, right? And it's really important that you understand the philosophy shift. So traditional gatekeepers are just going to ask, is this caller important enough? But our system is going to ask, does this advance the mission, right? Qualification tool, which is the first tool we're going to build out, reflects this, and it captures technical substance, not the business credentials, right? So the first tool is qualify Elon Musk assistant, and go over to my school community and grab the master qualification tool right here, and go down here, paste this in, and click save. And just a note, you'll see it actually reflect over here if it saves properly. Vapi does have a bug where it just doesn't save a lot of the time. So we've created this tool with 3 required fields that captures decision critical information, right? The first is the call type. So this maps the call to 1 of 5 categories, and it's going to be from company for its urgent issues for one of its company, to partnerships for the tech collaborations, media for the press requests, personal for legitimate connections, and then spam for everything else. And so this determines the entire downstream workflow. The next is the call details. Just flip this over. And call details is structured intelligence, not just soft requests, right? So for partnerships, this captures the tech description, the technical proof, and the mission alignment. For media, it's going to get the outlet name, story angle, audience reach. And for company issues, a specific problem. So you get the gist, right? It's going to adapt the details to whatever the actual issue is. This becomes the context Elon sees if the call actually escalates. And then we have the priority, right? So options are high, meaning that we need to route it immediately. Medium means it needs more information, or low meaning we need to reject and end that call. System's calibrated, so 95% of calls hit low priority because the bar for Elon's time is exceptionally high. And the intelligence built into this tool is that the AI is going to reject the buzzwords, right? So if someone calls talking about the revolutionary AI platform that's going to change everything, AI is going to demand technical specifics, right? If they give vague business talk instead of technical substance, the call type is going to be marked as spam, priority is going to be dropped to low, and the call ends, right? But if someone calls and says they've developed a new battery chemistry with 3 times the energy density of current lithium ion, they might have working prototypes with third-party validation, and they're super keen on discussing manufacturing partnerships for Tesla, AI is going to process this, mark the call type as partnership, extract the technical details into the call details, set the priority to high, and then proceed to scheduling. All of this is going to happen without asking soft questions, which are frankly useless for us, like tell me about your journey, right? Now the next tool we're going to build out is called Availability Elon Musk Assistant. And so go over here, paste that in, and go over to school community, grab master availability. And this is a very simple one. There's only one parameter here. So toggle that to JSON and paste this in here and click save. and we can toggle it back to visual to look at it. So this function is going to trigger when someone passes our screening, which is the qualification step, and then now needs scheduling. So we just have a single parameter here, which is a search date and ISO format, which is typically within the same day or next few days, right? Basically when they want to talk to Elon. And the workflow works like this, right? So qualification is going to complete, and the AI is going to determine that the call actually has legitimate value. Then it's going to ask them what day works for them, and so the caller is going to suggest timing, and the AI is going to fire our tool, right? Behind the scenes, N8N, which is our backend, we're about to get to this, queries Google Calendar and generates available time slots for that date. It's going to filter out the existing appointments, add buffer times, and then return the open windows back to our AI, which is Vapi, right? AI is going to receive something like available at 2:30 at Tuesday, and it's going to present these options. AI is going to receive something like available at 2:30 or 4 p.m. on Tuesday. It's going to present these options conversationally back to the caller. All right, so that just about wraps it up for our availability tool. Now let's go ahead and create our last tool, which is for booking the actual slot, right? And this one's going to be called Book Elon Musk Assistant. So paste that in here, go back to the school community and grab master book, and go down to parameters and paste that in here, okay? Now this is the final tool which executes when they select a specific time. Oh, we need to actually click apply back there, right? So let's click apply and then save. So as I was saying, so this is the final tool that executes when they select a specific time. It has 3 parameters, so client name, start date time, and end date time. And so the AI has been gathering this information all throughout the call. So by the time they already pick a slot, it's already collected their name during screening, right? And so when they confirm the time, the AI has everything needed to execute the booking in one action. So now, how do these 3 tools chain together, right? Think of it like a 3-stage filter. Stage 1 is ruthlessly qualify them based on technical merit and mission alignment. Most calls are going to purposefully die here, right? Stage 2 is if they pass, which is this is stage 2, then we want to schedule them out and show available times, right? Stage 3, which is after they've picked out a time that works for them, we're going to want to lock in that appointment with all the context captured in stage 1. And the cool part is that the qualification data is going to flow through the entire process. So when N8N creates a calendar event, it doesn't just say call at 2 p.m., but it's going to say call at 2 p.m. along with a bunch of the details, as you're about to see, that the AI has collected all throughout the call. So when Elon sees all those details in his calendar before picking up, he knows exactly who he's talking to, what tech they have, and why it passed the screening, right? So now we want to actually assign these 3 tools that we created to our agent. Let's go back over here, go to assistants, and make sure that the one we just created is toggled. Go to tools, and then click those 3 tools. All right, and click publish. Now let's go ahead and connect a phone number to our agent. Let's go to phone numbers, create a new number, and you can pick any area code that works for you. And we can try 512 because he's based in Austin. Doesn't look like it works, but you would want to make that something local to where you're based. And now we want to link this under inbound settings to Elon Musk Gatekeeper. And inbound just means that our agent's going to be answering the calls. Outbound means that it's going to be calling people, right? So the AI is now live. You can actually call it right now and it'll ruthlessly screen as we've kind of configured it to do in our system prompt over here. But we haven't actually built out the backend, so it won't be able to book anything to calendars, right? And so that's what's up next. So let's go ahead to N8N, and instead of building it from scratch, go ahead and go to my community, and it's going to be called Master Elon Musk Assistant, right? And you can open this up and literally just Command C, and then when you Command V, it'll show up just like this for you, okay? So everything's going to load for you, the webhook listener, routing logic, slot generation, and booking creation, right? But now let's break down every single component so you understand how to modify it for your use case, right? So this webhook node is the API endpoint where Vapi is going to send every single tool execution. So when AI runs qualify, availability, or book, the data is going to hit this webhook and trigger the appropriate workflow, right? Set this to post, and you can set this path to whatever you prefer, right? But you're going to want to make sure that whenever you change it, you want to actually change it in Vapi as well. And what I mean by that is right now we're going to copy this, go back to Vapi, and go down to messaging, and paste this under server settings. And so that URL Very specifically, this production URL is what connects Vapi to our N8N instance via that webhook, right? And that's just the URL for the webhook. And while we're here, let's go down to server messages and untoggle everything except for tool calls, because we don't need to be calling that endpoint or that webhook node every single time any of these fire. We only need it when one of our tool calls fire, right? And then click publish over here. Now when Vapi does call our webhook, right, there's something called an incoming payload, which is just all the data that Vapi is sending it, right? And you can think of this like a detailed package delivery receipt that tells you exactly what happened on the call. Now within that payload, I do want to go over, because it's super key to the downstream functions, what's in that payload, right? So first off, we have something called a tool call ID. This is like a specific tracking number for an action. So just how Amazon gives you an order with a unique tracking number, every tool execution is going to get its own ID, so the system knows exactly what action we're talking about. Then we're going to have a function name, right? And this just tells you what tool the AI actually used. So I like to think of it like you're looking at your credit card statement and seeing whether you paid at Starbucks, Target, or the gas station, right? So did the AI just run the qualification tool, the availability checker, the booking tool? And so this field is going to tell you what exactly fired, right? And then we're going to have the function arguments, which is the actual details that the AI collected during the conversation. So if you're ordering food and the delivery app captures like a large pizza with extra cheese, the arguments is everything the AI learned from the caller, like the company name, the tech that they're pitching, etc., right? All of the structured data is going to live there. And by the way, all of this is going to make sense a little later on. Just soak this in. I'm going to show you exactly where each one of these parameters are being used, right? Next, we have the customer number, right? And this is just the caller's phone number, which is simple as that, right? It's like the caller ID, but it captures data so you can actually reference it later. And then super, super important is artifact messages. And so this is the complete conversation transcript word for word. You can think of it like a court reporter who's been recording everything said on the call from the moment that our AI answered. So every question the AI asked, every answer the caller has given, every tool that's been executed, it's all captured in this sequence. So everything I just went over, this is like our raw data stream. Everything the system knows about what just happened, right? So that's about it for the webhook. Next up, we have our switch node, and this is for routing, right? So right after the webhook, this switch node essentially controls traffic based on what tool is executed. And we have 3 of these routes configured based on those 3 tool calls we just made, right? So availability is going to send it to the top one. So it's going to send it through this flow. Book appointment is going to go here, and then qualification is going to go down here, okay? And so each tool is going to trigger a different logic branch. Switch is going to act as traffic control, like a train conductor deciding which track each train car should go down based on what's inside. So now let's go over check availability, right? First off, route 1 is going to connect to our Google Calendar node, which is going to retrieve all the existing events. You want to set the operation to get all, which is going to pull all the events in the time range. Time minimum is going to come from the search date and the tool arguments, and the time maximum is going to be the end of the day at midnight, right? And super key is you want to go to settings and make sure always output data is on. And why do we do this, right? Because if the calendar is empty for that day, the workflow is going to continue instead of throwing an error. This is just so it doesn't return like a null set or an empty set. We're always returning something, right? And so empty calendar is going to mean full availability, which is exactly what we want. And so this node pulls essentially every appointment already scheduled for that requested day. Next up, we have the merge node, and this just combines 2 inputs, right? And those are the webhook data and our calendar. So you can see this line over here and then the calendar, right? And you want to set this to combine by position, which creates a single item containing both request parameters and the current schedule. You want to think about this like putting 2 documents side by side on your desk, like the caller's request on the left and Elon's current schedule on the right. We do need both pieces to actually figure out what times work, right? And this is super key for our next slot generation node. This next node, which is the code node or the slot generation node, is where the real intelligence in our N8N workflow happens, right? It generates the available time slots and it's going to filter out the conflicts while respecting our executive grade buffers, which are right here, right? And all of this is defined within our config, right? This is the config object. It's called an object with all of the information relevant to Elon. It can be relevant to your business as well, right? So it has our time zone, workday start hour, end hour, booking cadence, how long each meeting is, and then the buffer before each meeting and after each meeting, right? Now, just translating Elon's call schedule so you can kind of see what's happening here. All this is saying is that Elon operates from 8 a.m. to 6 p.m. Pacific. Each call is 30 minutes. 15-minute buffers to prevent context switching between completely different topics, like going from a technical review to a regulatory discussion to a media interview without any mental reset time, right? You can customize these values to your business. Now, for step 1, we have generate all potential slots. And so code's going to create potential 30-minute window between 8 a.m. and 6 p.m. So you get 8 to 8:30, then 8:30 to 9, 9 to 9:30, all the way continuing until 6 p.m. Then we have step 2, which is we want to load existing bookings, right? And so this is going to pull calendar events from our merge node. For each existing call, it's going to calculate the block time, including the buffers. So if there's a call scheduled from 2 to 2:30, the system's going to block out 1:45 to 2:45 p.m. because of our buffers, right? Then step 3 is going to be for filtering conflicts. And so the code's going to compare generated slots against block times, and any slot overlapping with a block time is going to get purposely removed. And so what remains are the genuinely legit available slots where Elon can actually take a call. And then last but not least, our step 4 will be to format our response. And this is just going to convert our ISO format into human readable text, such as Thursday, December 19th at 2 p.m. And then it's going to return a structured object over here then it's going to return a structured object containing our tool call ID and available slots array, which has our human readable format for AI to speak and also the ISO date time for the booking. And so then this formatted data goes ahead to our response node. And the respond to Webhook node, all this does is that it sends available slots back to Vapi so AI can present them, right? Very important that the format matches exactly what Vapi expects. And that's a results array containing our tool call ID and a result, right? The result field needs to be a stringified JSON object, not a nested object. And this is a Vapi requirement that trips people up constantly, right? So once Vapi receives this response, the AI is going to read through the available slots and then naturally present them to the caller. Something like I have 2 p.m. or 4:30 p.m. Thursday, which one works? Now let's go over the book appointment flow. When a caller picks a time, the book Elon Musk assistant tool is going to fire and the switch is going to route it over here. First up, we're going to hit a Google Calendar create node. Okay. You want to set the operation to create, which just means that we're creating an event. You want to set your calendar ID to your actual calendar and do this in the other Google Calendar node as well. And then you're going to want to pull the end time from the end date time and the start time from start date time, right? And now our description field is really where the bulk of the description field is essentially where we consolidate the qualification data that we've captured earlier. And so you want the name, the phone, the call type, call details, and priority all written clearly here. And so here's the trick though, right? This tool, this book Elon Musk assistant tool, only has the name and time slots. It's not going to have the call type, call details, or priority. So where are we getting that from, right? We're getting it from the conversation history. And so as I mentioned earlier, the Webhook payload includes those artifact messages, which contains the full call transcript with every tool execution. So all we're doing is, over here, we're searching through that array to find where this qualify Elon Musk assistant tool was executed earlier, and we're going to extract those arguments. And so essentially the expression over here, which is json.parse, it's going to find the message where the tool calls exist. It's going to get our relevant function name, grab the tool calls argument, and then extract the call type, right? And repeat this for call details and priority. So now our calendar event has complete context, right? It doesn't just say call at 2 p.m., but it says call at 2 p.m., say meeting with the person's name, along with all these details that our AIs captured throughout the call. So now when Elon looks at his calendar before the call and already knows, he's already going to know exactly who he's talking to, what tech they have, why it passed screening, and what technical proof they brought, right? So now after creating this calendar event, we want to send the confirmation back to Vapi with another respond to Webhook. And we keep it super simple here, just a return result saying appointment successfully booked. So Vapi, our AI, is going to receive this confirmation, and then it's going to deliver a closing message to the caller, which is something like you're scheduled for 2 p.m. Pacific on Thursday. Elon's going to call you at that time, have your test data and technical specifications ready. This is your chance to demonstrate mission alignment, right? So now, last but not least, so that's the booking flow, right? Next, we have the qualification. And actually, the real order will be we qualify, then we check availability and book appointment. So for this qualification flow, right, all that's happening here is if someone qualifies but doesn't book immediately, then they route it over here, which essentially sends back a simple confirmation, which is called qualification noted. This also tells the AI that screening data, meaning all the questions that we've programmed to ask in the prompt, were captured successfully, and the AI can then move and pivot to the next steps, and it can tell the caller then, got it, you want to schedule now, or should I have someone from the team escalate and reach out to you with the next steps, right? So to summarize, all that's happening here in this step, it's very short. It's saying that all of the questions were successfully answered, and now we can move on to checking availability and then booking appointment. Right? So that's the entire workflow. I might have moved through it a little bit quickly. If you have any questions, then you can drop it down in the comments. Now let me walk you through exactly how different call types actually play out in practice so you can see the decision logic in action. And you want to make sure that you've toggled your workflow to active so that our webhook can actually be a hit. So go ahead and open up your Google Calendar or whatever you've linked to your N8N instance and go to Vapi, and then let's find that phone number that we just attached to our agent, and now let's give it a call. This first demo is going to be one that I demonstrate that I have a strong technical merit, and it should pass and it should be scheduled, okay?
This is Elon Musk's assistant. Why are you calling? You have 20 seconds.
Yeah, so we've developed a new neural interface architecture with significantly higher channel density.
What's the name of your company or project behind this neural interface?
It's called Kingstone Systems.
How does this higher channel density tech relate to Neuralink's mission or Elon's broader goals?
We're actually achieving 10,000 channels per square millimeter using novel electrode materials. And we have working prototypes with signal-to-noise ratios exceeding current Neuralink specs by 40%, and we've completed primate goals with successful motor control.
Got it. How exactly does this advance Elon's mission? Mars, AI safety, sustainable energy, or brain-computer interfaces?
Yeah, so we're helping brain-computer interfaces, and so higher channel density essentially means more precise neural recordings, and that translates to better motor control resolution and potentially speech decoding capabilities, right? And so we're not just incrementally better, but this is a totally different approach to the scaling problem.
What specifically do you need from Elon or his team at this point?
Yeah, so we're looking for a technical review with the Neuralink team and a discussion about potential collaboration on human trials.
This looks interesting. What day and time work for you to discuss this with Elon?
Yeah, could we do tomorrow at 10 a.m.?
Tomorrow at 10 a.m. works. What's your full name and best contact number?
My name's Adiraj, and the contact is 408-819-8133.
You're scheduled for Wednesday, December 17th at 10 a.m. with Elon. Sound good?
Sounds good, thank you. So pretty cool, right? It got all of the information that I mentioned on the call, got the company name, phone number, my name, and really gave Elon a good idea of why we're calling and the premise of the company and everything about us, right? So now let's do another demo, and I want to demo a business pitch in disguise. And the AI should actually reject this one.
This is Elon Musk's assistant. Why are you calling? You have 20 seconds.
Yeah, so we're building an AI-powered productivity platform and would love Elon's investment.
What's the technology behind your AI productivity platform? Give me the quick technical details.
So we use ML to optimize workflows and increase team efficiency by 30%.
Okay, how does this relate to Elon's focus areas like AI safety, space, energy, or brain-computer interfaces?
We just want to work with them, and we think there could be some synergy with Tesla.
I need actual technical proof here. Do you have a prototype, data, or research to back this up?
Well, that's why we're looking for funding.
Look, I need technical details and proof of concept, not just a funding ask. This isn't a fit for Elon. He focuses on transformative technology, not traditional business. If it's technical and mission aligned, try X Twitter. Good luck.
Okay, thank you. Okay, so it rejected it, right? Now let's do another demo. Let's actually do a media request. So I'm going to call as if I'm from the Wall Street Journal.
This is Elon Musk's assistant. Why are you calling?
Yeah, hey,
You have
this
20
is
seconds.
yeah. So this is Adiraj from the Wall Street Journal. We're actually running a feature on Tesla's manufacturing innovations and need a comment by the end of the day.
Which story angle are you focusing on for Tesla's manufacturing innovations?
So how Tesla's essentially casting technology is changing the automotive manufacturing industry, and we've interviewed competitors and suppliers, and we just need Elon's perspective on where this is going to go next.
What's the audience reach for this feature? And why does this need a call with Elon versus something on X or Twitter?
So it's the Wall Street Journal business section, about 2 million readers, and we just need technical depth and context, which isn't going to fit in a tweet thread, and the deadline is super tight.
This looks like a strong media request given the outlet, audience size, and urgency. What day and time work for you to schedule this call?
Well, it's super urgent. Can we do today at 8 p.m.?
8 p.m. today is booked. I've got 5:30 p.m. today. Does that work?
Yeah, sure. 5:30 will work.
What's your full name and best contact number?
My name is Adiraj, and contact is 408-819-8133.
You're scheduled for Tuesday, December 16th at 5:30 p.m. with Elon. Sound good?
Sounds good. Thank you.
Done. You'll get confirmation. Come prepared.
Okay. So it did reject the 8:30 and 8 p.m., and that's expected because we set Elon's availability to 6 a.m. or it was 8 a.m. to 6 p.m., right? If we go back over here, we can actually check what we set of that config object. And so we set 8 a.m. to 6 p.m. And because that was past 6 p.m., it said nope. And it actually gave the next available time, which is 5:30. It's 5:27, which is 5:30. So it did its job. So now for our next demo, I'm going to do the strategic partnership and a government collaboration, essentially. Okay.
This is Elon Musk's assistant. Why are you calling? You have 20 seconds.
Yeah, this is Director Adiraj from NASA. We want to discuss potential collaboration on Mars sample return mission architecture.
Got it. What's the specific technology or approach you're proposing for the Mars sample return mission?
We're actually evaluating whether Starship could replace our current multi-launch architecture. We do need technical feasibility assessment and a cost comparison.
Okay. What's your technical proof or data so far that Starship can handle that mission better?
Well, we've seen your previous launches and the tech behind it, and we're confident that it can.
I need actual technical data or test results, not confidence. What are the hard facts or prototypes that show Starship can do this specifically?
Yeah, I don't have that right now, but that's why we would schedule the meeting.
Look, I need specifics here.
Holy fuck, this is good. Holy fuck. So I actually didn't have the specifics, and it didn't book me in, right? So that just shows you how ruthless this assistant really is, right? So even that surprised me. I honestly thought it would have let me through without knowing the specifics, but it didn't. And that really shows you how powerful our agent that we just built really is. So that's going to wrap up our demo segment. And why does this work, right? For mission-driven executives. Execs like Elon face a fundamentally different challenge than typical business leaders. They're not optimizing for deal flow or revenue opportunity. They're optimizing for mission advancement and technical breakthroughs that actually move humanity forward. And traditional solutions fall apart here. Hiring human screeners means those screeners need to understand complex technical merit, mission alignment, and strategic importance, skills that are ultra rare and expensive. Or you have to implement rigid intake forms that create so much friction that legit breakthrough opportunities give up and go elsewhere. This AI Gatekeeper that we just built together solves both problems simultaneously. It's going to provide instant response with zero friction for callers who bring genuine technical value. It's going to ruthlessly reject, as you saw, traditional business pitches and time wasters in under 60 seconds. It's also going to capture the technical intelligence during screening, so Elon walks into every call already briefed on the tech, the proof, and why it matters. For someone operating at Elon's level, where every hour spent on the wrong thing costs opportunity to work on the right thing, the system pays for itself after preventing just a single wasted call. And the difference from what we built from Mark Cuban was Cuban screens for financial opportunity and business metrics, while Elon's is going to screen for technical merit and mission alignment. It's the same infrastructure, but completely different decision criteria, right? And so that's the complete Elon Musk AI Gatekeeper build. You have Vapi handling the ruthless technical interrogation and the mission alignment screen. And you have N8N processing the qualification logic and manages the calendar with executive grade buffers that prevent context switching whiplash, right? Google Calendar, as you saw, stores appointments with the full technical context attached, and everything runs 24/7, right? With zero human intervention until Elon picks up the phone for a pre-qualified, mission-aligned conversation where he already knows what's up. So I built this to demonstrate what's possible when you optimize AI systems for mission alignment instead of helpfulness. And you can adapt this exact framework for any founder, researcher, or executive who's drowning in inbound requests that don't advance what they're actually trying to accomplish. So if you want the complete workflow, JSON, system prompt, tool configurations, and template for other executive profiles, everything's going to be in my school community. Download the files, import it to your N8N instance, customize the screening criteria for your specific use case, and you'll be able to deploy a working Gatekeeper system in under an hour. Link is going to be in the description. Comment which executive or industry I should build out next, and I'll see you in the next one.